two defenses have across the board. The Chargers would start off, all right, they were 11th in the NFL in points allowed, 21.8 points per game, 23rd in yards, 29th in passing, 12th in rushing. The 2013 Patriots, they were 10th in points allowed, 26th in passing, 26th in yards, total yards, 30th, against the run, and 18th against the pass. Now, 2013 Seahawks, 14 points a game for best in the league, 43.78 in terms of total yards given over the course of the season, first in the league, best in pass defense, 7th in rush defense. And in terms of rushing touchdowns, they get up 4 the whole season. So you weren't moving the football against the Seahawks defense. Do you know how many offensive touchdowns the 2013 Seahawks gave up this year in regular season and postseason? I'm talking as their defense. They have 25 touchdowns in 19 games. That's incredible. You don't get defenses like that anymore. You don't. I mean, you look at the last 5 teams to win the Super Bowl. If you look at the last maybe 6-7 Super Bowl champions, 2006 Colts weren't exactly the steel curtain. They didn't have that good a defense. They just kind of got hot at the right time. 2007 Giants, not a good defense, got hot at the right time, had a matchup they liked the Colts. The 2009 Saints, matchup against the Colts that not necessarily favored them, but, you know, they were able to pressure the receivers, get off the field on third down, and, you know, more or less control the outcome of that game. 2010 Packers, you know, they were giving up some yards through the air. The 2011 Giants gave more points than they scored. 2012 Ravens gave over 300 points. An aberration for that defense. And then Seattle comes along and proves that the same old adage. When you get the top-ranked offense against the top-ranked defense, when the other sides are neutral, the defense will always prevail. The team with the better defense will win 90% of the time. It's a fact. Again, 6 times now, the number 1 offense in scoring has met the top scoring defense in the Super Bowl. Of the 6 times, 5 times the defense won. Just goes to show you, defense still wins championships, even today. Even today with the rule changes, even today with, you know, the personal foul penalties, the pass interference penalties and whatnot, defense wins. And that's what Seattle proved. And I think that this game was a vindication for one man in particular, and that was Pete Carroll. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why I was rooting for Seattle, is because I don't think Pete Carroll, in his first 2 stints in the NFL, was given a fair chance. I really don't. Because you look at the situations he was in. Last year at the Jets, when part of that was his fault. He wasn't experienced enough, and that kind of cost him. Then he goes to the Patriots and makes the playoffs 2 or 3 years and gets fired. He had literally no power in that organization other than to coach the football team. Didn't have a say in personnel, didn't have a say in drafting, didn't have a say in any other roster transactions or who to start. All he did was coach the guys up in the field. He really didn't have the power to do anything else. You bring him to Seattle, and you use his experience in knowing college players and what they've done and how to recruit and knowing what to appeal to college players coming out of college that aren't necessarily on everyone else's radar, like Richard Sherman, Russell Wilson, other undrafted guys, Doug Baldwin, you have Golden Tate, you've got, who else do you have? Jeremy Curse, you trade for Marshawn Lynch, you trade for Percy Harvin. This team was 4-12 in 2009, and now 4 years later, they stand at the epitome of the NFL. That just goes to show how far they've come. For Denver going forward, though, all I got to say is improve your defense. Improve your defense. Unless you play a team with no defense in a Super Bowl, you ain't beating them. Honestly, I think this would have been the same result if it was San Francisco. I really do. Because San Francisco and Seattle are the two best teams in the league at playing. May not get sacks, but they'll apply a ton of pressure on your opposing quarterback. And shit, that's what Seattle did all game long to San Francisco. It's what they did to Denver. Seattle played a running quarterback and a semi-mobile quarterback in Colin Kaepernick and Drew Brees respectively. One that can throw the football in Drew Brees very well, and one that can't in Colin Kaepernick. You know, they pretty much got a chance to see all kind of quarterbacks, both kind of quarterbacks you can be, both dimensions in the playoffs. Peyton Manning not being a runner, and he was just going to sit back there like a statue. They teed off on him. They were coming after him. They only needed the thing about Seattle's defense, with their defensive end rotation with Chris Clemens and Cliff Averill and Michael Bennett, they just had to keep sending 4 guys the whole game long. They sent 4 guys pretty much all game long. They didn't have to blitz, and when they did, they hit Manning. And they didn't, and they rushed 4. They had 7 in the coverage. You can only have 5 eligible receivers at one time. And if each guy cancels out their guy, that means 2 defensive backs can go around and zone free and make plays. That's what happened in this game. Denver's usually getting the ball in their hands 1-2 seconds. Seattle's got to make them wait 4 or 5 because of the way the plays develop and the fact that Seattle's secondary is just so good at limiting you. That was what it is. This game truly showed who the best team in 2013 and 2014 NFL season was. And it was the Seattle Seahawks, without question. Okay, that's my wrap-up. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll be doing another show later on my thought on the 2014 Hall of Fame class, so stay tuned. I might do it, might not. Stay tuned.